Alright, here at the top position, our Terran player who seemed a little flabbergasted in that last game. Can he come back and tie this series up? He is on the team Foyu.
SC Foyu.
Shot of him. His blue Foyu jacket. You said that last time, Wolf. Yeah, I did. Well, I can't read very quickly, but all I know is the last says, he says he wants revenge for an ST, one of my producers told me. Alright. Now, the bottom position, a player on the team Prime. Look how fast I did that intro. There he is, his Prime jacket. Maka Prime plus Marine King Prime. Was that Optimus Prime, maybe? I wasn't a huge Transformers fan. I don't dislike it, I just never really followed it as much as I would have liked to. It was on TV during a time where I didn't actually have cable television. I grew up, my life as a kid was awesome. I actually only had Starcraft but didn't have cable television. I had internet, I had my Starcraft 1 on my computer, but I didn't have cable television. I had to watch, you know, like the news. That's what I watched when I was a kid. I watched the news, I watched Arthur and Friends, which is an awesome show. I found out that show was on Netflix the other day, and I watched an episode with my roommate the night before I came here. Maka Prime. .we. Fighting, it says, I believe. I didn't really read it, but I can assume. I saw the first syllable, so I can assume from there. What else would it say? So, alright, both of these players playing it a little bit more standard this time. It's very difficult to go gas first on this map. Well, I wouldn't say very difficult, but it's a lot more difficult. Because the rush distance isn't very far. Your opponent's at close air positions can kind of pressure you early on, and that can get bad. There's a lot of proxy locations to check for. If your opponent proxies you and you don't go, if you go gas first, you can just die, and I like their smart choice. Now it looks like it is going to be somewhat of a Reaper expand, possibly, from SC. It's becoming a lot more popular recently. A lot of people used to just scout with the Reaper and then do a normal build, maybe kill some SCVs, know exactly what their opponent's up to, using the Reaper to kind of try to predict if their opponent SCV just really can't get in and see anything. So he wants to get in there and see, did you take a gas? Did you take both of your gases? Where did you put your factor? Where should I scan if I scan you later? That's what the Reaper's for, because in TVT it's so difficult to scout. Now, we're going to have a shot of Marine King and Shoya here in a second, sitting next to each other. And the cameraman just came over. Whenever that happens, I just always prepare for having to talk about it, because if it just happens suddenly, it'd be shocking for you viewers. No, not really. Not shocking for you guys. Can be a little disorienting for me, because I'm so focused on these games. I'm doing all this stuff on myself. Now, it is going to be a Reaper expand, though, and he gets a fast stem. That's how you have to do it, because if your opponent goes Banshees, and you do this Reaper expand, your Marines are not going to be able to deal with the Banshees if you don't have stem. So that's how it works. Now, that Marine was trying to see what he could see. I'm going to go and look at his vision to see exactly what he saw. I don't think he saw the command center. No, he didn't. So, in fact, Maka completely in the dark yet again. But this Banshee opener is pretty safe, can do a lot of damage, especially against a Reaper expand. SC powering up right now, adding a few more barracks. Going to go up to 3 barracks. He has a few Marines out right now, 3 Marines out. Now keep in mind that once that stim finishes, the Marines are going to be significantly stronger against the Banshee. Maka getting Cloak as well. One thing that... The 2 things that SC is going to have going for him. I've done that so many times. The one thing, I mean the 2 things. Actually, there's 3 things. The things that SC is going to have going for him is he is going to have scouting information. He should be able to see this Banshee coming with this Reaper. Ooh, nice job by Maka, though. Does block that Reaper out. Wants to block the Reaper from seeing the very important starport. The starport on the edge of the map is very unusual because it's easily scouted by flying units, and sometimes if you go up the ramp, you can see it. But like that, oh, the Reaper spots the Banshee indirectly here. It's the last thing he spots, though, as he does get picked off. Stim is almost done. 3 Marines on the way at a time right now for SC. Does have quite a few of them. Now, if he controls this, he has 2 scanners. And that's one of the things he has going for him that I was going to talk about earlier. And the other thing is Stim. So, actually, there's 3 things. I'm just messing with you guys. Here comes the Banshee now. Stim not quite done, but when it does finish, he's going to want to stim just a few of those Marines to chase that Banshee out. Nice control by Maka. Gets it away. Got to be careful, though, because he knows Stim is about to finish. And now it is finished, but SC doesn't want to use it yet. Be a waste to use some stim and then your opponent get away with the Banshee. That would be horrible. Banshees, remember, outrange. Oh, gets cloaked, but he does have scans. Is he going to use one? Oh, he stims and then misses the scan. Maka doing so well in this game. I have to say, he's impressed me infinitely in this game. I don't even know a word for it other than infinite. He's infinitely impressed me. Whereas SC is playing a little bit sloppier than I've known him to do, and I think part of that is because Maka's doing a little bit of unorthodox stuff here. Look at this Banshee control. It's actually just beautiful. It's art. That Banshee has 13 kills. His opponent has scans and stims, and he still can't kill him. Until the Viking comes out. But the strength of the Banshee... Oh! The strength of the Banshee in this, when your opponent does a build like this, comes down to the fact that your opponent doesn't have Viking Sprawl and he doesn't have that many Marines. That's why stim is so important. So with that kind of control, you minimize the amount of damage your Banshee takes. And I love this move by Maka, pulling some SCVs, being aggressive. SC sees this, but what can he really do? He can try to make bunkers, but he won't be able to hold this. Siege mode is going to finish right around the same time he gets there. And even if it doesn't, siege mode or unsieged tanks actually outrange bunkers. So if he just targets down those bunkers with his unsieged tanks, use these SCVs for repair. This is a beautiful transition. This is actually really common when your opponent goes for Banshee Harass. Sometimes he's going to follow it up with this. If you lose a lot of Marines, he's definitely going to follow it up with some aggression because it's the best thing to do. You don't have that many Marines, how are you going to hold it? This could be it. Maka going to back away though. He wants to wait for that siege mode to finish. Of course, his opponent losing mining time all the way here. Maka scans, he wants to see. Oh, he's going to siege up here. He's going to even bunker as well. SC in a lot of trouble. He can't really pull his units to attack here. There's bunkers. Not only are those bunkers going to become helpful in giving the Marines more range and protecting them, but right now they're kind of serving as a buffer. SC having to lift. Remember, he does have stim, but Maka just having so many units. The Marines buffering here for these siege tanks. SC is going to lose to Maka Prime here in the round of 32. Great timing attack here by Maka. He cleaned up enough of those Marines to where that was just too much, and SC GG's. Maka takes him out 2-0 in what I feel to be quite an upset. There's a shot of him now. He's going to come out and shake. Oh, give him a hug. Give him an SC a big hug. Of course, they're friends. Boyu and Prime are really, their teams are really close. They know each other well. Gerard and Shoya actually giving each other some love as well. Both the coaches. So, pretty awesome games there by Maka. Now, you might be saying, oh, well, that wasn't all in, it worked out. Well, it wasn't really an all in. Here's the thing. If you go Cloak Banshees, if your opponent Reaper expands, if you kill enough Marines, you can just kill him. You've got Siege Mode, he doesn't have Siege Mode, or if he does, you have more Siege Tanks than him, you have more Marines than him. You can pull some SCVs, buffer a little bit. Your opponent invested in that expansion, did not invest in tech as much. You can even use your Banshees. A lot of the time, if you go Cloak, you can use your Banshees to pick off your opponent's Siege Tanks if it's a larger map. You know, Cloak your Banshees, pick off those tanks, whatever you can. But Maka didn't even have to do that. He lost his second Banshee. Didn't even make any more Banshees. He was like, you lost so many Marines, I killed like 15 Marines with my Banshees. So, and you simmed a lot of your Marines low on hit points. So, we're going to have an interview here in just a second, but I have to say, a really well-played game by Maka, well-played series in general, and that was a bit surprising. I didn't expect Maka to take out SC 2-0. They didn't expect him to take him out at all, but taking him out 2-0 was pretty surprising, to say the least. So we're going to have an interview here in just a second, guys. Our lovely Korean commentators. He's actually quite lovely. He hangs out at the house all the time. Ladders. He's a really, really good player. Not as good as me, but he's pretty good. We played some 1v1s together and stuff. All right, so we're going to have that interview in just a second, I think. Maka's just rejoicing a little bit too much. He's got to calm down, calm down, Maka. All right, finally, here we go. Interview.
오늘 마지막 16강 진출자 확정이 됐습니다. 마카 프라임이 곽한월 선수입니다. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
네, 오늘 승리 축하드립니다. 소감 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
Look at him, he's so happy. Maka's such a friendly guy.
아주 기쁩니다, 아주.
아, 네. 소감보다도 역시 몸으로서 좀 표현을 해주셨군요.
그렇죠.
네. 자, 오늘 경기 좀 자평을 해주신다면요. 몇 점을 본인 경기에 주실 수 있을까요?
한 7, 8점 정도 줄 수가 있겠네요. 제가 하나 워낙 겸손해서.
아, 10점 만점에 7, 8점이요?
예.
네. 나머지 2, 3점은 무엇 때문에 조금?
He said he gives himself a 7 or 8 out of 10 score for
원래
himself.
여자들도 그러잖아요. 밥을 남기듯이 저도 별점을 남기듯이
네.
7, 8점을
그렇죠. 다음 경기에 이제 10점까지 가기 위해서 오늘은 7, 8점만.
아, 예, 그쵸.
네, 알겠습니다. 자, 1세트에서 좀 재밌는 장면이 연출됐어요. 뭐 재밌는 장면이라고 해야 될까? 정찰을 좀 꼼꼼히 하셨는데 놓쳤어요. 그래서 댄 씨가 이제 6시 쪽으로 갔었는데
예.
그때 상황에 대해서 좀 말씀해 주시겠어요?
사실 제가 SCB가 언덕쯤에 도착할 쯤에는 마린이 보통 SCB를 견제하려고 나와 있어야 하는데 그때 나와 있지 않고 그게 성가스 벤시 빌드인 걸 모르고 그냥 지나쳐 버렸네요.
네. 그리고 굉장히 이제 오랜만에 경기셨습니다. 경기 좀 감이라고 해야 될까 이런 것처럼 좀 떨어져 있진 않으셨나요?
So he didn't know
감이
in the
좀
first
많이
game that
떨어져
was gas
있었는데
first
최근에 팀
Banshee
매치를
build, he missed the
하면서
Banshee.
억울하게
Just
패배하기도 해서
commenting on that.
그런 그게 계기로 조금
Surprised he didn't
하지
comment on his
싶었습니다.
scouting pattern in the first game.
마지막으로 이정우 선수와 함께 이제 오늘 16강 진출을 확정 지었습니다. 팬분들께 또 프라임을 응원해주시는 팬분들께 마지막으로 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
고맙습니다.
자, 짧고 굵고 굉장히
Says
쿨한
thanks for the
곽하늘
Prime
선수
fans that cheer for his
만나봤습니다.
team.
네.
Doing a little dance. Maka is I love the guy, I gotta say. He's really impressed me today, showing some really good reactions to what he saw. When you see your opponents going for a Reaper expand, and you already have the Cloak Banshees, what you do is, I don't know if you guys notice this, but you should notice this, he doesn't try to kill SCVs, he tries to kill those Marines, as many Marines as he can kill. Because if he kills those Marines, that means when he comes back, he's going to crush him with that timing attack. So here's our match results for today. Marine King Prime, 2-0ing Startail Ace. Leonok, it's the day of 2-0s actually, except for Beyond. Beyond's the only one who pulled it off. Marine King Prime 2-0, Startail Ace. Leonok Foyu takes out Clyde 2-0. Alicia takes out Beyond, and a nice third game, finishing him off. Now Maka Prime 2-0s, SC, and a pretty good series. Maka showing us how to do those timing attacks, how to play with the Banshees, how to control his units properly. Not really seeing too much of a macro game out of them, but tomorrow's matches, I'll be back here again. Colt Prime playing against Liquid Huck. Zenex Line versus Zenex Kyrix, an unfortunate team kill for the Zenex team. Startail Virus versus OGS Nada, and OGS Top versus Choya Foyu. Those will be tomorrow's matches. I'll be here, alone, the lone wolf caster of GSL. I'm sure there'll be a lot of fans here to watch Huck play, and Nada as well. Probably the big shots of tomorrow's play, but Polt's pretty awesome too. Huck's got his work cut out for him. So, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning into the GSL. I know a lot of you guys probably tired after all of your MLG experiences. You're staying up super late to watch this now. Well, I feel your pain because I stayed up really late to watch MLG, and now I'm here doing this. I'm here talking. So, thanks for tuning in. I am FXO Wolf on Twitter. I'm FXO Wolf in general. That's my ID. And GOMTV, as you can follow them on Twitter. You can go to gomtv.net. Remember, our sponsors are Intel, G-Skill, and LG. Without them, this would not be possible. You can see them like at the bottom of the screen down there. Saw that corner of the aisle on the previous screen. I know they're down there. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. And we're going to have some awesome games tomorrow. So I hope that you'll tune in tomorrow as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.